can't remember who said it, but I heard somewhere somebody say that awakening doesn't change who you are, but it ends who you're not. And it's such a great quote, because it's exactly why we do this. It's exactly why you come back to this channel and watch the video, why you meditate, why you reflect, why you search all the time. It's exactly why. And it's also, I was asked the other day, but why do you do the channel? Why, if there's no you and there's no them and there's no separate self, then why do the channel? If you can't help anybody, then why do the channel at all? And I've been reflecting on it a lot, because my initial thought is that, well, why not? Why not? I mean, if I was interested in trains, I would be talking about trains. If I was into, anything else, I would be talking about that. So that is my initial thought of it. But then I was reflecting on it a bit further and meditating on it. And I actually, it's deeper than just the interest of trains or stickers or journaling, or it's deeper than that. I really think that the world needs this, not me, and not what I'm talking about, or not me doing the videos and all of that. I'm not conceited that way, but the world needs for all of us to become aware of the fantasy, become aware of the reality, become aware of the distance between being in the ego, where we see a separate self, and where we treat other people with disrespect. Because we can only treat other people disrespectful and cruel, and when we believe in the separate self, when we in ourselves feel separated, it's the only way to compartmentalize the reality. Because if you remember those instances in your life where you had that pure being, that pure awareness, where you were just present in the moment and time disappeared, and you were just there, whether it was, playing with a puppy or sniffing a baby or laughing with a very good friend, that pure being where time didn't exist anymore. When you believe in a separate self, then you only experience that small scale. You only experience that with an I, experiencing that liberation, where you're no longer confined within the separate self, that I'm here, you're there. When you become aware of the fantasy of what the separated self, the delusion that the separate self is creating for you, when you wake up from that dream, then all of a sudden you have that feeling that you had with the baby, with the puppy, with the best friend. You have that towards everyone. There's no difference. And the cruelty we see in the world can only happen when we believe in a separate self, when we see ourselves as separate. And I always get the question about, but what about Hitler? Hitler, he was not, he was especially cruel, or anybody that is committing genocide or human trafficking or any of that. They are especially cruel. The people in the prisons, they're especially cruel. When no, they're still part of the same field. We know it's just a field now. Physics have proven that long ago. We know it's just a field. We know that we're just a wave of a big ocean. You're just a little wave. And it doesn't mean that when you're the wave that you're then an individual wave. You're still part of the ocean. And realizing that, becoming aware of that, then you also see people with compassion. And I know that I'm probably going to get slaughtered completely by saying this, by seeing Hitler with compassion, but hear me out. Hitler was in a state where he, I'm assuming now, I'm just saying how I see it, um, was in the state of the separate self, because it was not like he was loveless. It was not like he was completely had no emotions whatsoever. I mean, he had a girlfriend, Eva Braun, and he was vegetarian. He didn't want to kill animals. So there was compassion, there was love, but in his little bubble, that love and compassion only extended to him and what the separate self could, in immediate contact, have a connection to. And anybody that are in the separate self are no different. Road rage happens because you believe in the separate self. Being miffed at Janice at the office happens because you believe in the separate self. There's a me-go that believes I am better than Janice, and I better tell off Janice, so Janice, she will finally find out. I mean, you're the ignorant one. So working with non-duality and doing the theta work and working with the fantasy, finding out what is fantasy and what is reality, moving yourself from waking yourself up from that dream-like state where you are separate from everybody. I think that's why I do this. It's why I keep talking about this instead of trains or planes or automobiles. That we need this. You need this. The planet needs this. We need the compassion. We need the feeling of connectedness with one another, with all living beings, with the planet, with everything. We need to be compassionate towards ourselves as well, because the first thing the ego is going to do is turn all this hate towards yourself. And that's not compassionate either. So as soon as you see through the delusion of a separate self, first of all, you're going to realize that there's no you, and there's no one to hold anything against, and there's nowhere to go. You're already there. You have experienced, I'm sure you have experienced it in glimpses in your life. So you're already there. So, yeah. Thank you.